chilling in Alaska, swimming in Atlanta, vultures out in Fremont, Akira, Carolina, they wildin' in Chicago, howling down in Bentley, Mile High in Denver, that Tallahassee pride is deep, they lunching in Vancouver, Desperado shooting, the renegades on the loose, the hyenas looting, gold out in QC, who higher than them sparrows, the Furies swooping in divine order for the pharaohs, Indy on the rise, the Sharks about to mash, gladiators, knights and Aztecs about to clash. Welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. First and 10, I'm so aggressive. The end zone, the game plan, no pressure. They gotta pay me how they measure me. You know these haters on my back like the referee. You know I'm in it to win it. Game day, I'm about my business, I gotta get it. So I'm all about my ends. And these non-stop wins. They can't touch us, can't touch us. We turning up on these suckers. You know the D brought the rockets. Cause we tighter than the huddles. Welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Now welcome to my playoff party. Baby girl, it's a playoff party. The SFL is an all-pro party. They came out to get the playoffs started. Third down is going down. Round and pound, oh, we gotta air them out. That's why I gotta hit the route. Hit the flat, if I catch it, then I'm out. Fourth and inches gotta take it. YOLO, just no pump fake. So tighten up and hit the power high. The out of blow the draw them offside.
What a move by Varner. Varner makes a man miss. Shan Varner is going to score. One of the best plays in Varner's illustrious career.
Let me remind folks here, Shan Varner, a 6'6" tight end with this nimble move.
Colin Hart breaks a tackle. Hart 20, down to the 17-yard line. Best run of the day for Colin Hart. And Sioux Falls has grabbed some momentum off the Nyberg interception. 7:54 to go in the second. Jay Ayola shakes it. Oh my goodness, Ayola gets away! Jay Ayola on the first play for Tallahassee is going to score again. Pass is intercepted by Jeffrey Daggs and returned up to the 11-yard line. And the Aztecs away. Oda makes another tackle. Ash Oda, you've got to be kidding me. Big chase and one touchdown. Oh my God. Tonight, only one game separates the Mexico City Aztecs and the Tallahassee Pride from the 11th SFL Championship game. Will it be Mexico City making it back for the first time since winning their first title in Season 9? Or will it be the Tallahassee Pride trying to make it back-to-back championship games? The first team to ever do that, at least since Season 2. When Oklahoma City did it. Mexico City and Tallahassee from the Lions Den starts right now. Welcome to Tallahassee in Florida. A beautiful night for football alongside Mark Lopez, a.k.a. Crew Knox on Live Stats, and Andy Hamilton. I'm Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Andy?
Oh, I'm doing great. Nothing better than one game to the championship. Both of these teams need the win tonight. Cam, I don't know if you would consider this yourself, but I think both Ramos and Frank Gooden would consider this a must-win game.
Yeah, I would say so. And it's a must-win game for the Agents. The 8-5 Mexico City Aztecs and 11-2 Tallahassee Pride. That's next, right here on Twitch. Tallahassee wearing their Purple Rain throwbacks tonight. Mexico City in their traditional road uniforms. K.L. Barrett calls tails. It is heads. Pride win the toss. Pride want the ball. And that takes us to kickoff. Monday night. Nobody does it better, at least in our opinion. And Cole Varner, not many do it better than him. Number 15, the kicker for Mexico City. Ball in the tee, hand in the air, kick it. We're underway in the SFL semifinals. As on the return is Michael Sprouse, and Sprouse returns out to the 33-yard line to bring out Christian Christensen in the SFL's #1 rushing offense, led by Jaye Enyola.
Yeah, and the #2 offense overall, 32 points per game, Cam, and it's going to come up against the #2 defense in the SFL in the regular season. Mexico City only giving up 17.5 points a game. Something's got to give here, man.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Start with 3 receivers and 1 back in the backfield. That's Enyola on the carry, and Enyola got nothing. Brought down immediately by that defensive front led by Lopez. No gain.
Yeah, Mexico City #5 against the run, only giving up 79 points a game. And it's going to start up front with Jack Brown and that linebacker, as well as those front 4. They got to get stops against this Jaye Enyola rushing attack. If they can do that, that might be the key to beating Tallahassee in this game.
4 receivers, 3 to the right side for Christian Christensen in the dime defense, and the handoff goes to Enyola, and Enyola's free. Enyola 50, 1 man to beat, trying to chase him is Nick Daggs. 20-15, got a block, 10-5, touchdown Tallahassee. They're up front.
Well, and just like I said it, Cam, you know, the key to the game would be if Mexico City can stop him. They did on the first play, but were not able to hold him there on the second one. It's a good kind of outside run here. Might be a power, but get some good blocks there and just finds the edge. And when you got speed and power like Enyola does, no one's going to really catch you from behind, and it's obvious there. A little bit of a back block there from number 76, but it works out, and the Pride jump ahead early here in this game, and that does not bode well.
And the crowd is fired up here in Tallahassee. A giant roar for that touchdown as the Pride are off to a very strong start, and that's good news for the boys in purple and gold. This is the 10th all-time meeting between these two teams. They have met once in the playoffs as the extra point is good. That was back in season 5 when Santa Fe, the Santa Fe Gorillas, beat Tallahassee in Mexico 31-27.
Yeah, both great owners in this team in terms of the way that they kind of game plan, and I think that's going to be the conversation, Cam. Both of these guys having been in a championship within the past 3 seasons, it's a dog-eat-dog fight here between the West and the Southern Conference, and only one of them can get in.
This is from the 12, and this is Jeffrey Daggs, who has been a Superman of sorts here over the last few games for Mexico City. They'll start the drive on the 26-yard line. Shout out to Chris Curtis. He intended to be on play-by-play tonight, but had some unforeseen technical tragedies. Nothing super major serious, but I am here to fill your double duties in 3.5 hours of sultry playoff action. 3 receivers and 2 backs in the backfield for Matt Wilson, and Wilson starts the game with a slant and a near first down to K.L. Barrett, who was red hot in the first half last week.
Yeah, 4th playoffs for K.L. Barrett, along with Matt Wilson here once they switched over to the Aztecs names. He only had 4 touchdowns this season, though. That's his worst season as a Mexico City Aztec, so I'm interested to see if they can get him rolling in the playoffs and kind of help Matt Wilson, who also had a really tough season.
Hand off to Ray Bentley, and Ray Bentley will shrug off a defender or 2, and then eventually is wrapped up by E.J. DeQ, number 96, but not before Mexico City gets a first down at the 40. Let's meet the Mexico City offense in his 6th season. Matt Wilson, 6'5", 250. The running back is Ray Bentley. In his 4th season, wide receivers are K.L. Barrett, number 19, Richard Montague, number 86 on the outside, and then number 83, tight end Mike Daggs, the game winner in overtime last week against Baltimore, and the handoff goes to Ray Bentley running right. Ray Bentley breaks the tackle, and Bentley gets it out to the Tallahassee 45-yard line. Both running backs off to tremendous starts.
Yeah, and when you talk about Ray Bentley, the way his playoffs have progressed, Season 9 was his best season, 4 yards per carry then, 5.2 last season. In the first game of these playoffs, he only averaged 4.6, Cam. They got to get his motor going, and it's going to be tough against the number 2 rushing defense in the SFL, the Tallahassee Pride.
3 receivers, 2 backs in a backfield. Wilson to throw. Wilson going to be sacked for the first time tonight. A 7-yard loss. It's 1 of the 4, and this time it's Hunter Norwood.
Well, this front 4 likes to eat, and boy, Hunter Norwood does here. Look, just beats the man inside, and there's nothing really Matt Wilson can do, and he gets folded like a gingerbread house after Christmas is over.
It's Matt right in the target zone, and it loses 7 yards. 2nd and 17, back at the Aztec 48-yard line. Tallahassee scored on the second play of the game on a Jaye Yola explosive run after a no-yard gain on his first carry. 2nd down, 17. 3-step drop. Matt Wilson in trouble, sacked again. That's E.J. DeQ, and he's warming up and smashing beer cans. 3rd and 19.
This does not bode well for the Mexico City Aztecs looking forward through this game. They are not a team built to combat 3rd and 19. They're a team that can fight against 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. This is a real interesting point here, and I would not be a bit surprised to see Matt Wilson have some pressure coming at him.
May want to look towards Mike Daggs' direction. Back to pass, Wilson. Wilson got to get rid of it. Does quickly. Open is Barrett just for a moment. And then the Tallahassee purple defense, about 9 of them on the screen, wraps up Barrett and brings out the punt team led by Lopez, and Mexico City's opening drive stalls.
Yeah, and like I said, Cam, they picked up 5 just there, which is exactly what you would want to be. 3rd and 5, and you get those 5 yards if you're Mexico City. But when you take sacks like that, it really pushes your offense back and puts them in a situation that they're not built to overcome. And quite frankly, neither team is really built to overcome this season.
Sliding into the end zone and blowing that pretty good punt by Lopez. And the ball will come back out to the 20-yard line. So Christian Christensen, not used as much in this form of the Tallahassee Pride offense, but he still can be pretty lethal.
Yeah, still is a dangerous quarterback, but you know, like we were saying, the same thing with Matt Wilson. The tail of the tape is the same for Christian Christensen. It seems like he's having his worst season. He's only thrown 2,780 yards in season 9. He had 3,422. That's his next worst. So really not a good year for him.
Christensen into traffic, throws a completion for 6 yards to Jason Stackhouse, the tight end. Picks up the ball to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, well, and there's exactly what we were saying, Cam. He not his best year at all, but he still is dangerous from that spot, able to find the non-contract receiver over the middle, make a good gain, and make this second down a little bit easier.
Goal on the backfield. Christensen going to flip it out quickly. That pass is caught to Grayson Willis, and now I feel like Tallahassee may be toying with Mexico City a bit. They ran Yola twice on the first drive. They haven't given it to him yet.
Yeah, well, and for both these teams, the game is to find a balance. You know, you both have strong running backs who have had MVP caliber seasons, if not been MVPs on Mexico City's side of the ball. So you need to really find a balance of pass and run because both teams, in theory, should be scheming to stop the run.
1st and 10 at the 30, 6:18 to go in the first semifinal presented by APM Music, and Christensen's pass is almost picked. And it's just a 2-yard pickup for Grayson Willis, a dangerous ball, but Christensen has completed his first 3.
Yeah, Nick Daggs was almost all over that one and would have been the hero for Mexico City. This is his first playoffs as a Aztec coming over from St. Louis. Had a pick last week, and he would have made it 2 in 2 games if he could have got in front of that one.
Christensen changing the play at the line. Mexico City in a nickel. Let's see what the Pride want to do with it here. Christensen calling his own number. He's going to throw it deep down the middle of the field. It is almost caught by Willis, but Pablo Zamora was there to knock it away, and I thought for sure Willis was about to make a touchdown highlight reel type play, and instead Zamora gets the pass deflection.
Yeah, Zamora locks him up, and I think that's something Mexico City is probably comfortable with. You know, when Tallahassee takes to the air, I think this Aztec defense can feel comfortable that their defensive backs might be able to stop these 2 or 3 receivers that Tallahassee has. It's when Enyola gets going that they're going to have to sweat a little bit.
Ken Gossett has not been targeted just yet, going deep again to Willis. That pass knocked away. In coverage, Fran Agawa. The corners are talented on the outside of Mexico City. And Christian Christensen throws 5 passes on their second drive, goes 3 of 5, but the Pride will have to punt.
Yeah, and that's a really good break for Mexico City, especially with the lack of handoffs to Jaye and Yola, because, you know, if Tallahassee could have scored there, I don't know how apt Mexico City is to coming back in a big game like this, but they're able to hold still and only remain down by 7.
Hang time pretty good there, and the return for Dags up to the 36-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we have a new sponsor announcement, and this sponsor will be powering the SFL Championship game next Monday night. We'll have all the details at the break. All right, so the Aztecs first down and 10 at the 36-yard line, took 2 sacks on their opening drive. Matt Wilson's going to need to get the ball out of his hands quick as Tallahassee playing with 2 deep safeties. And off to Bentley, and Ray Bentley is gone, possibly 45-40 down to the 37-yard line of the Pride. He doesn't have that extra gear, but Ray Bentley, the ever-powerful, showing the elusiveness, hurdling a teammate on the ground.
Yeah, he might not have that extra gear, Cam, but boy, does that man have some gas in the tank. Look at him go right down the sideline. I mean, those are star players he's outrunning, and he's foot for foot with them down. Can't beat him to the end zone, but boy, that is a punishing run that Tallahassee cannot take too many of those runs tonight if they want to keep this game in their favor.
Bentley again, this time swallowed up for no gain. Hunter Norwood and E.J. DeCues having a stellar first quarter in there on the tackle, but no question, Ray Bentley has been effective tonight in the first.
Yeah, and more effective when they run away from that front 4. When they're running those off-tackle run plays, that's when they're finding success. Look at the bottom of the field, Cam, right off of Dags' shoulder here. He's gone if he hits that.
And off again inside, and you're right, as Bentley kind of crashed into the mess of the gang in purple. So now 3rd down and 10, just a smidge outside of Cole Varner's field goal range. And if I'm the Aztecs, I might think about playing for 3 right here.
Yeah, especially with Varner. Cole Varner in the postseason in his 3 seasons here in the SFL has only missed 1 in each playoff game.
Wilson, did he get it off? He did not. Hunter Norwood with a sack as Wilson upset with himself. I thought maybe he may have gotten that one into the grass. He did not. So that's going to bring out Lopez again. And for the 2nd straight drive, Mexico City gets into Tallahassee territory and can't do anything with it.
Yeah, that is huge. Points off the board, Cam. And I think, like you said, if Wilson just could have dumped that one off, they would have been in good shape to at least make an attempt. Instead, it's going to have to be Lopez, and the Aztecs are going to have to come up with another defensive stand.
Lopez needs no more sliding into the end zone, and he didn't get it. 3:34 to go. Mexico City special teams not playing their best football here in the first half. And don't forget, coming up next at 8:15 Central, 9:15 Eastern, all that hard-earned support of the SFL has bought us a teleporting machine. I will be in Alaska to call the game with Steven as the Alaska Storm take on the Houston Hyenas. Houston trying to beat Alaska for the very first time. That's going to be a good one. And they start with a handoff to Enyola, and Enyola picks up 6, and already a strong recipe for success since the last time he touched the ball he scored.
Yeah, and when they have this balance of run and pass, they really look like a threatening team to this Aztec defense. But the last drive, when they just kind of tried to throw the ball a little too much, it really got stale, and the Aztecs kind of were able to handle it. So let's see here how much Christian audibles in comparison to the plays that Frank Gooden's calling.
2nd and 4, the 26. Handoff to Enyola. Enyola's got a first down and more. Enyola shoves Pablo Zamora away. Up to 84 yards, had a 67-yard touchdown run early. But Jaye Enyola putting in work.
Yeah, and Yola, his second time in the playoffs with his Tallahassee Pride team, 5.2 yards per carry last season, giving up 6 in the last game, and you saw the stat there, Cam, over 10 yards per carry so far tonight, as well as over 1 plowed over man per carry.
First and 10 at the Pride, 36. They've not had a drive yet tonight where they run and pass. Split receivers, Ken Gossett, still at the top of the screen, has not been targeted. Out to Willis again, and Grayson Willis will get 3, and then a late hit by Nick Daggs and no call. And Turner and Douglas and company are over there. Coach Gooden is over there too, saying, what in the heck are we watching, refs?
Yeah, I don't know whether Daggs tripped or what, but he definitely got a hand and a shove to Willis way after the whistle was blown or after he was out of bounds, and good old ref 62 must have been asleep or something because he missed it. 3
receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. And what's Christensen going to do? He's going to throw. Christensen looking around. Tipped. And incomplete. Ken Gossett was the target for the first time tonight. And Mexico City was all over that, playing a short zone. And it brings up 3rd down and 7. And we'd like to remind you that at the end of each quarter tonight, we are providing you a logo teaser, a teaser to some refreshed branding concepts from our design partner, Matt Doyle Designs. Let the speculation begin, as those looks will be unveiled at halftime of the SFL Championship game next week. 3rd down and 7 for Christensen. Christensen going long, and the pass is knocked up in the air and incomplete. Fran Agawa again saves a touchdown, and it looked like, Andy, Tallahassee, Christensen had a receiver wide open underneath, and Christensen went long.
Yeah, that's big play Christensen for you, trying to always be the man, had an MVP caliber performance in seasons past, and he tries to dial up Grayson Willis, but these quarters for Mexico City are just not having it tonight. They are shutting these receivers down. I mean, when you look down the line, Gossett, no catches on 1 target. Willis, 3 catches on 6 targets, but he's only got 9 yards. That's 3 yards per catch. So a nice job by the defensive backs here for Mexico City. I'm telling you, Cam, that is the key to keeping them from winning this game. You have to shut down the pass and then at least do decent against the run.
A check into our live stats here in just a moment as Jeffrey Daggs returns up to the 30-yard line. Krunox has been holding it down and doing a great job thus far tonight. And your stats, Matt Wilson, 2 of 2, but he's been sacked 3 times already for 15 yards. And on the flip side, Christensen having a bit of a trouble throwing into traffic. He is 4 of 8 for 15 yards. Both quarterbacks the same, 1.9 yards per attempt. Offside Tallahassee. Ray Bentley is brought down immediately by, I believe, Jeff Eaton, but that's going to result in 1st and 5.
Yeah, and I'm surprised to see them continue to run right at that front 4, Cam. It's like a wood chipper in there, and you're just feeding it more wood, expecting at some point that a log will get through, and I'm not sure if Ray Bentley is that log.
1st and 5 at the 35-yard line for Mexico City, clock running. Aztecs weathered the storm, gave up that score on the first play of the game, but since have settled back down, but have not found a deep passing game. Mike Daggs does not have a catch. He's on the left of the line there at the bottom of your screen. Richard Montague at the top, Cale Barrett at the bottom. Split backs for Matt Wilson. 1st and 5 at the 35, handoff to Ray. Ray got over a nut. Boy, he has been on the track recently. Ray Bentley has hurdled about 3 different defenders. It's 2nd and 2.
Yeah, kind of getting more nimble as you look at Mexico City and the way they built the team this year. You know, Ramos has been open about saying, you know, that they're trying to rebuild. To get to the semifinals in a rebuilding year is big, but Bentley, you know, is getting the attributes that he needs to be better in seasons future. Ray
again, bouncing off a linebacker, and Ray Bentley gets the first down to the 44-yard line. What a beast of a run, as Bentley easily could have been thrown backwards for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, it's the altered beast himself. Look at this. He gets caught behind the lineman, stays patient, and is able to find the hole and pick up the yards. And that's really been Bentley's MO this season is, you know, he's not breaking off these huge runs, Cam, but he's getting what he needs to get done. And he does so there, moves the chains, and gives Matt Wilson another opportunity to make this offense work.
First and 10 at the 44, 33 seconds to go in the first. Two backs, two receivers. Defense showing some 3-4. Back to pass. Wilson just got it away out to the fullback, and he picks up 3. Fullback for Mexico City is Andres Tovar, and he's used a little bit more this year than in previous seasons.
Yeah, Mexico City has used some of their role players a little bit more, especially with the way that they've been trying to rebuild and build this team into something that can be great for seasons to come.
Will they get another playoff here? They will. Second down and 7. Wilson fires. Caught
Nice.
by Montague to the Tallahassee 41-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter unless we get a replay. And what are we going to do? We will not. End of the first. Word from our sponsors and a logo tease. Semifinals will be back to the Lions Den after these messages.
Tease me, baby.
APM Music is the official theme music provider of the SFL. Listen to their Champions Will Rise soundtrack at apmmusic.com and visit their all-new esports landing page to find the best highlight music, heroic action, and epic sounds to boost the quality of your esports stream just like us. Log on to form.apmmusic.com/esports for more information. APM Music, production music library, and custom music house. Simulation Football League, brought to you by Matt Doyle Designs, Spy Goat, your choice for sound reinforcement, Richards Printworks, the official merchandise provider of the SFL, Score Stream, the official scoring app, APM Music, Show Business Studios, Media Tech, and so much more. First and 10 at the 41-yard line, start of the second. Matt Wilson going deep down the field. It is intercepted. What a play by Alex Bond coming over from the strong safety position.
Yeah, his third playoffs with Tallahassee. Look at that. He shades over just in front of the pass, and I think Matt Wilson might have got a little too confident after that pass was complete to end the first quarter because he tried to force it really into double coverage, Cam. The safety was shading over, and it spelled bad luck for Mexico City. They keep points off the board again as they were driving for field goal range.
So first and 10 at the 24, 3 times past midfield, no points. Oh, nearly a pick six there, and both defenses are flying all over the field. And I want to say to everybody in the chat room, if you missed the logo tease, first off, should be paying more attention. Second off, if you missed it, you'll see it again later in the second game, so stick around.
Yeah, I don't know what that logo looked like to me. It looked like a bunch of lights and smoke.
Oh, you weren't looking hard enough.
Oh, I never look hard enough. That's why I have glasses.
Second and 10 at the 24-yard line with 10:54 to go in the first half. And Christensen actually going to pass. That's out to Inyola. Inyola got lit up at the 25-yard line. Fran Agawa with the tackle. He's having a sensational first half, and it brings up third down and 9.
Yeah, and Yola was busy pushing down Pablo Zamora and didn't see the other man coming across the middle, and he about took his head off there, Cam. A dangerous hit. It forces this third and 9 where Yola is pretty much ineffective.
10.5 to go in the second. Back to pass. Deep ball. Christensen picked up by Agawa. Past midfield. Got a block. And got to the 38-yard line of the Pride. Fran Agawa. 3 tackles, 2 passes defended, and a pick in the first half.
Yeah, his second interception, had one last week, and look at this. Just jumps right in front of it, reads it the whole way. And then the only complaint here, Cam, is look, he's getting a nice block from Jeffrey Daggs, and he runs right into the guy getting blocked. But look at this. Lines it up and just gets right in front of it. Ramos, no reaction in the background, but a nice interception. It sets up Mexico City really good here. I think if they get 5-10 yards, they'll be in comfortable field goal range. The key is protect the ball here, something we've seen Matt Wilson struggle with this season.
Ramos has seen all of this before. Stone face there on the sideline.
Yeah.
Press coverage up front. First and 10 of the Tallahassee 38. Back to pass. Wilson actually has some time, and Wilson doesn't get rid of it. Loss of 7. Should have just thrown it away as E.J. DeQ and Taekwon Heo combined for the 4th sack of the day.
Yeah, they talk about all quarterbacks really have this, unwritten timer in their head when they know they got to get rid of the ball. Matt Wilson's has been a bit longer, in the games that they've played, as well as, in the course of his career. He seems to have forever, but not there.
Wilson, this time, finds Mike Daggs, a pickup of 13 yards, brings up 3rd down and 4. Both teams are 0 for 5 combined on 3rd down in the first half.
Yeah, Mike Daggs, really the dark horse of this Mexico City team. The hashtag feed the tight end movement's going around. Cam, he was in the playoffs last season with Queen City. I bet you'll never guess the stat line. 7 receptions, 82 yards, 3 touchdowns for the Corsairs, and he had a big game last week for the Aztecs, so they got to get him involved.
Mike Daggs knows when it's playoff time. Ray Bentley has the first 3rd down conversion of the game.
Oh!
15-10, Ray Bentley, touchdown, Mexico City, and we're a point away from being tied.
Oh my, talk about knowing when it's playoff time, Cam. The big boy smelled the end zone and was able to just go find it. Look at this run. Unbelievable the way he's able to get to the outside, right off tackle, gets a good block there from the fullback, plows through one. Look, thought there was no way he was going to beat 59 to the pylon, and he was able to get quick, get skinny, and get into the end zone for 6.
Bentley protecting the football in the right hand, the left hand, but the correct hand. They're running down the sideline. What a brilliant run for the savvy veteran, as Mexico City's a point away from tying it. Back to Mike Daggs. That guy knows when the playoffs is, dating back to his time last season. 4 touchdowns for Daggs in the playoffs, and I think he may have had, well, no, they ended up losing that game to Sioux Falls. That was a tough nail biter as well, and we got a good one going on right now. 7-7 with 9:12 to go in the first half. And don't forget, the SFL's 11th championship game will be on the air next Monday, 7 Central. Starts the coverage, kickoff at 7:30.
My body's so ready.
I'm just letting that simmer. From the goal line, on the return is Michael Sprouse, and not much there. Good kick from Varner at the 22. 9:08 to go. Alongside Andy Hamilton, Crew Knocks on Stats. I am Cameron Irvine.
And for Tallahassee, it'll be interesting here, Cam, to see how they respond to Mexico City's big drive. They're coming off of the turnover, so it'll be interesting to see whether Christensen, is still confident enough to go way down the field, or whether he, is going to kind of be a little bit more reserved.
1st and 10 at the 22. Hand off to Jaye Enyola, and Enyola gets rid of 1, picks up 6. And there's the look at the 2 vicious running backs in tonight's contest.
Yeah, well, and he just ran over Jack Brown, Cam. That's no your grandma's sweater she gave you for Christmas he's shrugging off there. He ran through a star. That's incredible from Enyola, and that bowling ball of we got 2 bowling balls of running backs going at it.
Sometimes I think you get these from somewhere, but I don't think you got that from anywhere. That sounded 100% Andy Hamilton right there.
That's experience.
Yeah, that pass is incomplete. Again over the middle looking for Gossett. And Ken Gossett does not have a catch in the first half. They've been all over him.
Yeah, when he's got 6 touchdowns in his 3 playoff appearances, including this season. So for Mexico City, that's part of the game plan is, if you can shut down Ken Gossett and you can shut down Jaye Enyola, you're really going to force Tallahassee to play a game that they don't want to play. And so far, the Aztecs are doing it pretty well.
Christensen is 5 of 12 for 16 yards, and Christensen almost got sacked. Oh, but the pass is caught by Stackhouse. Brilliant vision, as I believe that may have been Nick Daggs that got all sorts of turned around. His brother makes the tackle, but Tallahassee gets their first 3rd down conversion in the semifinals.
Yeah, that was a little skip and a dance there. Christensen showing shades of the former Matt Wilson in the SFL. If you're new to the league, go look that up. But my goodness, what a move to get that ball off.
Tallahassee's converted their last 2 3rd downs now, and under 8 to go in the second quarter. Christensen's pass is caught on a nice in route for 7 yards. Generous spot for Willis for the 44.
Yeah, and Willis is really picking up the legwork that Gossett is kind of missing out on. And for Tallahassee, I'd be interested to see if maybe you dial a deep one up to Willis and see if he's got something in the tank that they haven't seen before.
2nd and 3 at the 44. Handoff to Ignola. And Ignola!
Oh, he didn't get there.
Lit up by Nick Daggs just before he got the first down. I have never seen a man go backwards so quickly.
Yeah, when it's not a small man either, Cam. It's like shoving Santa Claus right back up the chimney because it's only Thanksgiving time. He got lit up like a tree way too early. That was incredible, and I was surprised he did not get the 1 yard.
You're like Walmart jamming holidays down my throat. It's Halloween still. Ignola got the first down and more as Jack Brown, who's been quiet, makes the tackle. The Aztec 47-yard line, 6:55 to go in the first half now.
Well, yeah, and that was a shoelace tackle by Brown, and Yola almost broken. If he did, he would have been off to the races himself. That was an incredible tackle from Jack Brown, but a more incredible run from Ignola on 3rd and 1.
Hand off again, Ignola getting busy. Ignola fumbled! The ball is loose, and Nick Daggs recovers. First down, Mexico City.
Unbelievable. Nick Daggs, are you kidding me? It's a Daggs playoffs for these Mexico City Aztecs. Cam, I was in New York with Matt Wilson and the Daggs family watching the last game, and they were all shocked at the way that Nick Daggs and Jeffrey Daggs were playing. And look at this. Look who comes up with the fumble. You can't tell me that St. Louis isn't disappointed that he walked to Mexico City this offseason, because he is coming up big when the lights are the brightest.
And Jeffrey Daggs forced it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just last week there was Daggs making a hit, Jeffrey, and then Nick able to get the interception. 1st and 10 at the 38. Handoff, Ray Bentley. Ray Bentley breaks a tackle, and Bentley near a first down out to the 48-yard line. Now 97 yards rushing, and Mexico City has quieted the Lions' den here over the last few minutes.
Yeah, and the only thing I want to know, Cam, is what are they feeding these two backs? What's sitting in the locker room that's making them run so hard, and where can I get some?
2nd and short, 6:10 to go in the first half. Bentley again, and Bentley got the first down.
Oh, I don't know about
but
that.
Got swallowed up. It was very close.
I thought he was short. I thought that was a tackle for loss, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you would see that in a challenge, and I think that's what Coach Gooden may be thinking. It's not worth my time. 1st and 10 at the 48. Got to get some more pressure. Got 4 sacks in the first half. Halfway through the second quarter, 1st and 10 at the 48. Tie game at 7. Both teams all 3 timeouts. A championship spot is on the line. Hand off to Bentley. Bentley breaks a tackle. Bentley brought down by Bond, or he stood him up and then waited for teammate Jamal Carroll to come over and wrap him up, a 3-yard gain.
The name's Bond, Alex Bond, and the game is tackling Ray Bentley as soon as he gets through that first level of tackling. That's what it's going to take, really, is swarming to the ball, no pun intended, getting there and making sure you can bring him down.
2nd and 7, 5:10 to go in an exciting first half here from Florida. Wilson out to Bentley, got space. Ray Bentley got the first down to the 41, keeping the legs churning. Pablo Zamora a little bit too excited out there for a man who's balding. And chat shout-outs, DR Sim 80, Taekwon Hale is in the chat, Dags 83, Ocho 11 is in. That's Grayson Willis. Eric JDWA. That's Doyle is in. Little man Michael, LB 29. Chad Tackle getting ready for his playoff game in Alaska. Checking out some action. Mark Lopez, our main man on stats in there. The Dead Knight 57. Kanye Rockefeller, TMG 82. They're all over it. 1st and 10 at the Tallahassee 41. Back to passes. Wilson going down the field. Knocked up in the air and incomplete. That is Matthew Sprouse with the deflection. Pass intended for Montague.
Yeah, it's not just a family affair on the Mexico City side of the ball. On this Tallahassee side, they got the 2 Sprouse boys on the outside, and I thought for sure that was going to be a pick. Who's Wilson throwing to? Sprouse? Because he's the only one who's trying to catch it. Look at Montague. He just continues his route to the sideline as if it's a walk in Central Park.
So with 4:36 to go, we welcome you for the first time tonight. Well, I guess we won't. Just going to welcome you into the broadcast booth, but
rest in peace.
Going to have to resync that at the half, I suppose. 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line for Matt Wilson. And Wilson's pass short over the middle, caught by Mike Daggs. First down at the 29-yard line as he rumbles into scoring position. There you look at the quarterback numbers. Nothing too impressive, but Matt Wilson has been very efficient with the football.
Yeah, consistency really is Wilson's game here. And they're exploiting this linebacking core, Cam. Over the past couple plays, they've been throwing it short to medium, except for that incompletion on the last play. Really trying to make those linebackers understand, you guys are not getting paid the money. The defensive line is. And when the defensive line makes the money, that makes it harder for these linebackers to make the tackles, and Aztecs are benefiting off it.
Wilson sacked, loss of 6, back to the 34-yard line. Here we go again with the Aztecs in scoring position. Taekwon Hale gets that one.
Yeah, you got to be really careful. And here's the other negative, Cam, is that once Wilson goes back here, the Ramos, Lynn, and the Aztecs are going to try and get this first down still, because it's just the type of team they are. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to try and go down the field. And the issue is that also gives this defensive line more time to eat. They're still in field goal range. I'd like to see them try and, Ray Bentley run.
Bentley gets 10 back up to the 25-yard line. And what that does, Andy, is it puts Mexico City in a position where they can still comfortably pass without worrying about being out of field goal range.
Yeah, well, and it makes a run play even more easy if you want to do that and let this clock roll, too. If you remember, the Aztecs kicked off, so they're going to get the ball after the break. So, whatever the clock says, if it's 3 minutes or if it's 1 minute, you might as well let it run and give the Pride less time with the ball.
3rd and 6 at the 25. 7 in the box for Tallahassee. 2 backs in the backfield. Wilson going to throw. Wilson against a heavy blitz. Wilson hit as he threw, but lucky to get that off as Hunter Norwood was hunting. And wow, that was dangerous.
Yeah, Norwood, I think up to 4 sacks here 5 sacks over the course of these playoffs, and he is going for something fierce. Already Matt Wilson has seen 5-6 sacks, which is the most he saw all regular season.
This is a 42-yard field goal to put the Aztecs and Cole Varner in front. Snap high, hold good, and Varner's kick is good. He had his consecutive makes streak snapped last week when the Aztecs went for that 57-yarder, just short.
Yep, consistently, has been a great kicker this season. Unfortunately, it was kind of a game decision. Ramos kind of had to throw him out there with, very little option of whether he could kick it or not. I mean, it was a last-ditch effort to try and put points on the board, and unfortunately for Varner, it did break the streak. However, his playoff streak is still intact. He's missed consistently 1 field goal across all 3 playoffs, so with the miss out of his way this season, Cam, the thought process, knock on wood here, is that he's going to be perfect throughout the rest of the playoffs.
By the way, shout out to Orbfather with the 1,227 cheer for the 12-27 connection on the Aztec touchdown. Sprouse returns up to the 24-yard line. Also a username that I can't say on the air. Got his 1,200 bits in, so I appreciate that. He eats something a lot, and it's 1st and 10 at the 24.
I think that stands for coaxial cables.
Yeah, that's it's really high in fiber, I think.
Oh, all right, I'll see my way out.
1st and 10 at the 24, under 3 to go. Tallahassee's down at home, 10-7. Handoff to Inyola, and Inyola gonna lose a yard all over it. Nick Daggs again, his 3rd tackle.
That was impressive from this Mexico City defense, because I thought the play call from Tallahassee was really good. And Yola has been good both on the outside of the tackle runs and inside the tackle. There, though, Mexico City was just all over him, And so for Tallahassee, you're going to have to try and get Enyola into space. Look at all the space at the bottom of the field. Run it there.
2nd and 11 at the 23-yard line. Christensen and the Pride offense struggling a bit. Christensen looking for somewhere to go. Hit as he threw. Pass tipped up in the air and incomplete. Again, Gossett was the intended receiver, but Jeffrey Daggs knocks it away. And it's a good time to tell you that Tallahassee, this is their 9th home playoff game in franchise history. It's their 11th playoff game overall, and at home, Tallahassee is 5-3 in the playoffs.
Wow, and considering the fact that, they only lost 2 games this season and none the season before until the championship, that 3 losses is a lot, Cam.
3rd and 11 at the 23. Christensen trying to get the offense moving. Deep shot, incomplete. King Wallace, pass intended for Ken Gossett. Gossett has no catches on 4 targets, and I've never seen Gossett targeted so much without a catch.
Yeah, Mexico City is on him like icing on top of a wedding cake. It just looks wrong without Mexico City being there to defend it because Christensen can't find a completion to Ken Gossett if he was paying Ref 62 to buy it for him.
Couldn't it have been any cake?
No, wedding cake is superior to all other cakes. Don't get me started on this. I'll go for an hour.
All right. Well, we would not want that. 2:10 to go in the first half as Jeffrey, on the return. Jeffrey Daggs past midfield to the Tallahassee 49. Andy, I think Mexico City has been on the other side of the 50 every drive in this half.
Yeah, I think you're accurate there. And Cam, I actually had the opportunity. Not many broadcasters will go out of their way to drive 5 hours in order to try and tackle Jeffrey Daggs in his front yard. But I tell you what, he's a slippery little son of a gun, and Tallahassee experienced it right there.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. 2:05 to go in the first half. 2 backs, 2 receivers. Wilson, 3-step drop back, and the offensive line protecting a lot better. But Ray Bentley very selfishly picks up another reception on his resume.
Oh, and it was right there in front of Ramos Lynn. It's almost as if he was saying to him, look, I'm going to ruin the drive, as he was dragging his feet.
Only to murder somebody in a few plays, I can only imagine. That's the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL presented by APM Music. The semifinals, can you believe it? Here on Twitch. Don't forget, coming up at the half, we announce a new championship game sponsor. We are excited about their involvement, hopefully even past the championship game, as well as we are still working out on those details as Matt Wilson's pass, a little wobbly, EJ DeQ providing some pressure, and it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, Wilson serving up one of his world-famous ducks, Cam, and unfortunately no one was on the other end to eat it.
3rd and long.
Yeah, just let that one sit. We
Montague
need to hear the
just
groans.
yawned at your joke. Did you see him out there?
So is the chat, don't worry.
3rd and 11 at the 50. 3 receivers, 2 backs. Oh, here Matt Wilson steps up in the pocket, but he was in trouble from the start, and another drive stalls out. Norwood and Hale each with 2, and Hale got that one.
Oh my, and it's really, Tallahassee has really bought into this buffet line. They are all eating here, Cam. It's all you can eat here at the Lion's Den, and I didn't bring my eating pants.
Left tackle whiffed on that play. 1:26 to go at the 44. Lopez going to have to punt, his 3rd of the night, and smartly taking time off the clock as Tallahassee elected not to use any of their 3 timeouts. Lopez punts it away with 2 on that play clock from the 19-yard line. This is Sprouse on the return up to the 23. So 1:07 to go. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. And this would be a really good time for Christensen to figure it out because he is 7 of 16, averaging 2 yards an attempt.
Yeah, well, and they're still sitting, another 77 yards away from the end zone, and that's a tall ask for Jai Anyola when you got to do the math and think if he's tackled in bounds, he's really only getting 5 or 6 carries at most here. So Christensen's got to do it now.
Christensen steps up, incomplete. Pass knocked away by Nick Daggs. Grayson Willis, the intended target. By the way, running back updated numbers in Yola, 8 rushes for 100 yards. Ray Bentley, 12 carries, 110 yards. And by the way, that was the first, the second missed target for Grayson Willis. Check that, forgive me. 9 targets, 4 catches for Grayson Willis. Having a tough night.
But for 16 yards, though, I mean, that's not anything crazy.
2nd down and 10 at the 23. 2 in the backfield. Christensen going to throw again. Looking for Gossett. Outside. Caught. 1st down. Nice. Gossett. Finally, they get him on an underneath route, and Gossett got out of bounds and stops the clock.
Yeah, and just the right time to come up with a play like that. Caught it underneath, was able to get the 1st down, and then to even get out of bounds was, somewhat incredible for the veteran on his first catch of the evening. And look at this, Cam. He's only 5 yards behind Grayson Willis.
59 seconds, all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time for Tallahassee, just down 3. Tallahassee, a 3rd quarter team. We'll see what they offer up in the 3rd frame. Deep ball, trying to be a 2nd quarter team. Pass caught for a 1st down. The Mexico City 44, that's Gossett with back-to-back receptions.
Yeah, and in the SFL, you're not going to be able to shut a guy down all night, Cam, and Ken Gossett is showing just that. Look, a little crossing action with Willis and Gossett. They make those three defenders that are deep for Mexico City choose. You can only defend one of them completely. Someone's got to be at least a little bit open, and when you have a quarterback like Christian Christensen, you have the opportunity to hit that open man. They do so just there, and they're working their way into being able to be close to tying this one.
First and 10 at the 44. Nickel look for the Aztec defense. Three receivers. Christensen changes the play at the line. Now fires deep. Pass is intercepted. Franagawa takes it away again. And the Aztec secondary has been unbelievable.
Look at this. He just lines it up, and he almost boxes Grayson Willis out of where the route was supposed to go and takes it away from Mexico City. Unbelievable play. And now with 50 seconds, Mexico City has to make a decision whether they try and get into Cole Varner range or just, get to the half.
I would just get to the half of 3 on the
Me
road.
too.
That's just me. Wilson going to throw. Wilson, one-handed catch by K.L. Barrett, picks up 8. But Mexico City appears to be in no hurry. May have gotten a little scared of how close that was to being a turnover.
Yeah, well, with the way Bentley's running, I would just have handed the ball off to him a couple times, see if he could break one, because he's got 110 yards on 12 carries. He's averaging 9 yards a carry. If he breaks one, then maybe take a timeout and see where you can go. But, they're running a little bit of a pass and then slow down offense.
Down to 20 seconds, seeing what they get on this play, and it's not much as Ray Bentley gets his legs taken out from under him, and that appears to be the final play of the half as Mexico City is content. They are up 3, and they have made Tallahassee's offense almost invisible since the first touchdown on the second play of the game, and that takes us to halftime. What a half from the Lions' Den in Tallahassee on a beautiful night for football. Andy, your first half thoughts?
First half for Mexico City, I don't think could have gone better, Cam, to be honest with you. Coming in as the perennial underdogs. Look at those stats. They're beating them in nearly every category. A 1-yard difference in rush yards. That's incredible. Total yards, they're on top. Time of possession on top. The only thing is they're letting up a few too many sacks. You could argue that if Mexico City would have kept a few sacks off the board, they could be up 13-7 here. And if you're Tallahassee, you got to get Gossett going more. That was working for you, but you got to tell Christensen at the break, you can't force anything. He keeps forcing these balls right into the one-on-one coverage. You got to just wait for the play to develop, find an open man, and if no one's there, check it down or throw it away. Take care of the ball. If Christensen does that, Tallahassee has plenty of a chance to get back into this one. But for now, everything is firing for Mexico City because really it was just that first drive, Cam, for Tallahassee that really set them on the board. Other than that, they haven't done anything too noteworthy.
You think Mexico City will regret all those times past the 50 and only up 3 at the break?
Yeah, I think they're going to regret not handing the ball off to Ray Bentley more because clearly this game is a lot closer than it even should be at this point. So I can only imagine what the second half holds for us and how close it might be after another 11 minutes.
Houston and Alaska coming up next. We'll also have another logo teaser for you from Matt Doyle Designs. A lot of team identities getting unveiled at halftime of the championship game, and we'll also talk about the league's newest partner. We'll take a look at Ray Bentley's runs. Plenty of highlights in that first half. Ken Gossett ends up leading all receivers in yardage at the end of the break. As you look at probably the play of the half, Jeffrey Daggs forcing the fumble on Nick Daggs, and the highlights roll on.
Yeah, well, how does Cole Varner not kick the holder in the face mask on those kicks, Cam? I don't understand that.
It's truly bizarre. It's great talent. Look at this pick by Fran.
Yeah, the defensive backs in Mexico City. I mean, look, it looked like he was running that route. Grayson Willis has to do a little bit better of a job of being aggressive, getting in front of the defensive back and taking that ball away.
We're back to the Lions' Den after a little bit. Stay here. SFL Nation, the SFL is teaming up with Fuel for the championship game. The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, is proud to work with Bit Central Inc. for the climactic finish of the SFL's 11th season, the SFL Championship game. Bit Central's Fuel platform revolutionizes the way users and fans watch content online and is expected to be a significant contributor to the SFL's ongoing success. We are so excited to start a journey with Bit Central and Fuel. Fuel is such an incredible platform for traditional sports and esports, and we intend to showcase all it can do leading up to the championship game. It is relationships such as these that can benefit both companies who are growing, looking for proof of concept in new spaces, and both have something to offer to a wide variety of businesses and bases. Fuel creates playlists relevant to players and teams participating in the championship game, and through the postseason, showcasing the high volume of short-form video content produced seamlessly from one segment to the next. Its advertising capabilities allow the league to generate revenue, and the league hopes someday these tools can help more users more easily watch ads for bits or support the league in general throughout the year. Using Fuel technology, the SFL will more easily be able to create game highlight reels, player-specific highlight reels, top 10 plays, the SFL Blitz, and new pieces of content that will directly tie to the Bits Give Back program. The SFL and Bit Central look forward to expanding their relationship, allowing users to watch games in a more seamless way, and provide SFL users and fans 24/7 content on their favorite teams, seasons, or topics. Bit Central appreciates the opportunity to play a vital part in this year's championship season. Putting the power of Fuel together with the excitement building in esports today is a great combination, sure to create ripples throughout sports and entertainment industries, says executives from Fuel. The SFL Championship game for Season 11 will become the APM Music SFL Championship game, powered by Fuel. We'll be back to Tallahassee for the second half after a word from our sponsors and another teaser to Season 12's new identities. Welcome back to Tallahassee, start of the second half. We're ready. Kicking it underway to Jeffrey Daggs and the Aztecs to start the third quarter. The Simulation Football League, as Daggs returns up to the 27-yard line, is brought to you by APM Music, Media Tech Institute, Show Business Studios, Richards Printworks, Spygoat, ScoreStream, and now the SFL Championship game being powered by Fuel, and Matt Doyle Designs offering us another sneak peek of refreshed brand identities tonight.
Yeah, and you gotta love, speaking of Fuel, Cam, talk about these running backs who probably still have a lot of gas in the tank, ready to go here for the second half.
And off to Ray Bentley, picks up 4 yards, and Bentley with 110 yards with a long of 32. That was the touchdown run. And Andy, I'm a little lightheaded after that first half. That was a tremendous first half of play.
Well, I tell you who else is lightheaded, Cam. Some of these defenders have been getting ran over tonight. So, we might need to have some concussion tests going into the second half, but we got a lot of hard-hitting football still left to play.
Second down and 6 with 10:23 to go in the third. They're going to hand off to Bentley, and he runs right in to a purple train. That is Kevin Bain on the outside. Drops him for a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, Bentley looked like my grandma trying to back out of her driveway. She just ran right into whatever was in her way, and there was nothing that he could do in that regard. Might have been time to scrap that play from the playbook. And 3rd and 11 here. You got to dial up some form of pass. Watch the tight end.
These new mailboxes are moving. Back to pass is
Grandma?
Wilson. Wilson going to be sacked. Loss of 6 yards. Back at the 20-yard line. And the sacks continue. 7 for the Pride as Christensen should get good field position.
I'm still laughing at your grandma voice. Matt Wilson can't do anything to avoid the sack there. I mean, that was just all over him. And now, a punt for Mexico City, not what you wanted when you deferred the opening coin toss. And Tallahassee has a chance to rally back into this game early here in the 3rd.
9:25 to go in the 3rd quarter as Lopez will kick that one away. Sprouse with a little bit of room to return. Number 78 makes the tackle at the 47-yard line. Shout out to the special teams demon out there. That was Elias Avendano playing tackle and special teams getting down the field.
What a great guy. Look at this, 6'8", 337 pounds, and he's the first one down on the punt return.
Outstanding. 1st and 10 at the Tallahassee 47. This is probably the best field position Tallahassee's had all night. Hand off to Jaye and Yola. Oh, and Yola!
Oh!
Get off him! Get off him! Dose! Pickup of 7 to the 45-yard line. A 7-yard gain, and 10.5 is the average for Jaye.
Well, I tell you what, Cam, he's taking yardage and taking people's souls out there. What a run. He only got 7 yards, but he plowed through 2 men. Unbelievable. I can barely get to the fridge when I'm done with a game, much less run through 2 guys.
2nd and 3 at the Aztec 45. 2 backs in the backfield. He'll follow the fullback. Hand off in Yola, but nothing doing there. No room. Nick Daggs again there on the stop has been outstanding in the slot safety position. And by the way, a added benefit to players who make the championship game, you're going to be a part of some of that new Bit Central technology. Is for the first time the SFL will be able to voice to text highlights. So anytime Ray Bentley makes a big play, we're going to know exactly where it is, cut it, and get it right to you, as Grayson Willis actually gets the first down to the Aztec 42-yard line. Yeah,
Willis, that's his 5th catch, over 20 yards for him. Not doing anything crazy like we talked about, Cam, but he's able to convert some of those. If you need 3 or 4 yards, you're able to get it with Grayson Willis.
1st and 10 at the 42, 8:11 to go in the 3rd. Driving is Tallahassee, down 3. There is a playoff spot, or a championship spot rather, on the line. Christensen going long, and kablow, it's picked off! That ball hung in the air forever. Pass intercepted by King Wallace. Jeffrey Daggs again with the initial deflection.
That was sensational. World class from this secondary in Mexico City. Look at that thing. It's all the way up in the air. He gets down and grabs it off of the feet. The Daggs family is playing world-class football here, and if there was any doubt in Mexico City whether bringing in all 3 of the Daggs was worth it, I tell you what, Cam, it was worth every penny and more.
Tallahassee and Christian Christensen cannot stop turning the ball over. That is their 4th turnover tonight. Ray Bentley loses a yard. Remember, Jay and Yola had the fumble in the 2nd quarter. Bentley now 105 yards on 16 carries, but Christensen 10 of 22.
Yeah, it seems like Oprah is here in Tallahassee, Cam, because you get a turnover, you get a turnover, you get a turnover.
We should be on the Oprah Network. Something's got to be on the Oprah Network. 2nd and 11.
Let me give her a ring.
At the 31-yard line. 7:25 to go in the 3rd. Back to pass. Wilson. Wilson steps on the pocket. Nearly hit as he threw. Oh, and it's caught! What a ball to Richard Montague on the sideline of the Aztec 48-yard line. The best throw of the night by either quarterback.
See, you have throws like that, and then you see Matt Wilson throw picks earlier, and you just wonder, is he just playing with us throughout the game, and then he picks, he's like, all right, I guess I'll turn it on now and really hit the guy on the corner route right by the sideline. And even Frank Gooden doesn't believe it here, and he's going to double check.
And I think he might have a case. First off, that was brilliant defense at the start by Matthew Sprouse, and then Sprouse got all sorts of turned around. Let's see it again. Got to get
good.
the one.
They're not going to show us where the feet are. Good. Perfect.
I think he got it.
I think he got it, too.
Right in between the score bug there.
Well, you never know. Ref 62, my arch rival.
Everybody's arch rival. Oh, they overturned the call.
Yes. Yes, Cam, it happened. Mexico City has foiled on the sideline by Ref 62. Take that, Mexico City. Ha ha.
That seems a little too personal.
What? No. No. There's no way.
7:20 to go in the third. Now it's 3rd and 11. Tallahassee wins the challenge a bit shockingly as Matt Wilson just gets pile-driven into the grass by Hunter Norwood. He got rid of the ball, but again, the Aztecs will have to punt it away, and Tallahassee's defense is playing something fierce. They're giving their offense plenty of chances.
Yeah, I went to Starbucks earlier, Cam. Did you know they have a new holiday drink out?
You're going to have to say that again, because I was looking to the chat to see if they were calling for your head after...
I went to Starbucks. They have a new holiday drink out. It's really good. It actually tastes like revenge.
Oh, 4th and 11 from the 31-yard line.
All right, well,
it
was nice having. Thank you for having me.
I mean, is it pumpkin? Is it pumpkin revenge? Like, it's got to be pumpkin something, right?
It tastes like a buffet, apparently.
Dax83 said just terrible. That's all. One word, terrible.
Yep. Well, it was nice being on the broadcast team. I appreciate you all giving me a chance.
Hey, no, Kanye's got a good point. Well, you're working on sponsors.
Yeah, I'm lining them up.
That's right. Moving mailboxes and all. 7:09 to go in the third. 1st and 10 at the 39. And Yola to the left. And Christensen going to throw again. Christensen pass caught. 1st down to the 38. Splitting defenders to Grayson Willis. And I got to ask, Andy, where is Jaye Yola? Why does he only have 12 carries right now?
I could not answer you that. Maybe Christian Christensen and Frank Gooden have dementia, and they decide to just keep tossing the ball down the field despite the sheer amount of picks that they've thrown. But Willis is open there. I mean, it's a good throw to an open man right in the area where you would throw it. So, you can't really blame Christensen for fitting that ball in the window and moving him down the field because, and Yola's been stopped a couple of times.
6 catches, 46 yards for Willis, and they're trying to get Christensen in a rhythm. Now the handoff to Anyola, and Jaye Anyola only picked up 2. And in fact, since his 67-yard touchdown run, Jaye Anyola has just 47 yards on 12 carries, which isn't bad, 4 yards a carry, but it's nothing like what we're used to seeing out of Anyola.
Yeah, and Yola definitely on pace, and that's what we talked about. That's what Mexico City had to do if they wanted to keep themselves in this game. So far, so good.
Hand off Anyola running left, got away. Oh, Jaye Anyola stuffed at the 28, but he got the 1st down and spins the ball in the direction of, I believe that was Franagawa coming all the way across the field.
Yeah, that looked like someone running through the door when you yell free buffet line because Anyola just got hammered right there. The Mexico City Aztec defense, I don't know. They gave him the 1st down, but that was another one of those close ones, Cams, that probably could have gone either way.
That was Agawa getting all the way across the field to make the tackle. He and Jeffrey and Nick Daggs have been outstanding. Back to pass is Christensen. Incomplete! And another vicious shot over the middle of the field. Couldn't see who supplied the hit because he's still down.
High helmet tackles are got to be an animation that's used on some of these guys, Cam, because they are all aiming shoulders and up, and it is going to work for both of these teams, whether it's a guy running the ball or the guy hitting the guy with the ball. This is getting dicey out here, Cam.
That was Zamora. 5:35 to go in the third. Mexico City giving Tallahassee their best effort here tonight. Outside Willis. Willis trying to get away, and Willis is tackled by Daggs. Shy of the 1st down by 4 yards, but a nice play from Grayson Willis, who's heating up. 7 receptions for 52 yards. Gossett still with 2 for 33.
Yeah, Willis, another one of those family men here in the SFL. The SFL, it's a family affair. His brother playing for Chicago, unfortunately eliminated. But Willis is doing his job here tonight. Now they got to see if they can pick up these 4 yards or if they're going to have to settle for 3.
They're 3 of 7 on 3rd downs. 3rd down and 4th at 22. Hand off Anyola, and Anyola gets away from 1-2 and then tackled from behind.
Wow.
Only a 1-yard gain will bring out the field goal. And what an effort coming all the way around the backside. That was number 93, Alan Romero at defensive end.
Yeah, well, and if it weren't for Alan Romero, that would have been a 1st down because Anyola, if you looked, Cam, had beat the linebacker who was in front of him. He just had to get past Romero's shoe-saving tackle.
This is a 38-yard field goal for the Pride to tie the game. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Missing a field goal last week off the upright was Richard Douglas, but he ties it up with a perfect kick right there.
Yeah, right down the middle of the street, the way you would want to drive if you're drunk for safety purposes. Don't drive drunk, kids. But the field goal is good, and it's 10-all knotted up here in the third quarter. Still plenty of time in this game for both teams to make their mark, but Tallahassee has looked very impressive, Cam, coming out of the locker room. Whatever Frank Gooden said is working for this Pride team.
So we're tied at 10, 4:26 left, third quarter. This is a nail-biter. Both teams hitting hard and flying all over the field, literally. What a play on cue. That's got to be the greatest queued-up call I've ever had.
Yeah, all right, Tony Romo, calm down over there.
Goodness gracious.
Hey, he looked like Peter Pan the way he got perpendicular with the ground. That was incredible from Tallahassee. These guys want this game, Cam. I tell you what, nothing is bigger than this semifinal stage here in the SFL. We've seen some incredible semifinal games over the course of my career here, so I'm excited for this last 16 minutes.
First and 10 of the 28, Bentley, nothing. Only got a yard, if that. That's very generous. Hunter Norwood with his 5th tackle. And shout-outs to Jack Brown, E.J. DeQ, Admiral Thrawn, Grayson Willis is in the chat, Father Parr's in the chat, little man Michael, Ethan Kai, Xander Gold, #1 pick. He had a great year for New Orleans. A shame they missed out on the playoffs, just barely swole. 2011, C. Pundy, and 100 bits from Father Parr. That's about 100 sacks tonight for Tallahassee. A loss of about 4, and Hunter Norwood stares them down.
Yeah, and the Pride brought the blitz here. If you look, they're actually rushing 5 or 6 there. And if you're Matt Wilson or Ramos Lynn, if you have any type of screen or something quick to check down to Bentley, if you can dial it up against that play, you're going to reap the benefits down the line. The question is, can they get it lined up?
Wilson, 3rd and 13. He's in trouble down at the 17-yard line. Tallahassee's defensive front has just been nasty tonight. Kevin Bain gets one. And it's 4th and very long, and Tallahassee is winning the field position battle in the third quarter.
Yeah, well, and Matt Wilson, if you look, he got up and said, what do I have to do to have 5 seconds to throw this football? Because he doesn't even have that, Cam. I mean, this defensive line is just shredding the offensive line like pulled pork at a Sweet South barbecue.
11 sacks for Tallahassee, 5.5 for Hunter Norwood. And the Pride will start at the 45-yard line. And, you know, Mexico, we all know this, Andy. You have to game plan for the top defensive lines in the SFL. And if you don't, there could be big consequences.
Yeah, definitely. You have to account for where the star players are on the field. If they're all in the front 4, you have to figure out a game plan to neutralize them. And the runs inside the tackles have not been working for Mexico City.
Christensen dropped.
Oh!
Dropped by Swain at about a 6-yard pickup, and that's not helping Christensen's night. 12 of 26, 100 yards. We have 171 passing yards and 229 rushing yards total in this ballgame.
Yeah, it sure hasn't been the prettiest ball game, Cam. It's like that ugly girl you know at high school, and it's getting close to prom time, and you don't really have a date, so you just got to, buck it up and take her. That's kind of what this game is. We're right around the corner of the final, and we need to put someone in it, so this game will decide it. And Yola almost decided it there with that run on his own.
And Yola, probably prom king of the season, as he's put together an MVP-type year. A 7-yard gain brings up 3rd and 3.
It was a nice run up the middle, and look, right here, I almost thought, oh no, I'm going to have to shut up, and Cam's going to have to go off, because that almost became a huge run. But Mexico City still, if they can stop them without giving up 3 yards, they're still in good shape. So this defense has really been bending but not breaking.
3rd and 3, 2:20 to go in the third. We're tied at 10 in the first semifinal, and Yola going to get the carry, and Yola got it at the 44-yard line. Dragged down by number 44, Jeffrey Daggs. And, hey, a couple of 100-bit cheers from Stephen at Large and Father Parr for the commentary specifically. So congratulations, and go ahead, show us your biddies.
Well, I think those bits are for you having to put up with my commentary. I think you just misread that.
That's not what they said. They just said great commentary. Got to give yourself props when you have the opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 44. Handoff in Yola. And Yola getting pushed back. And Yola makes something out of nothing. And Pablo Zamora picks up or makes the tackle after a 4-yard gain. And Yola up to 138. Now down to the Aztec 40 with 90 seconds to go in the third. And that means another logo tease is coming up.
Ooh, love those teases. No metaphors there. I'll just leave that as is.
Grayson Willis says it's great commentary from Andy. See? You're getting some love. 2nd and 6 at the 40. Handoff in Yola. Yola dragged down.
Oh, wow. He looked like he was about to burst out of there, Cam. If it weren't for, I'd say it again, if it weren't for Moises Avila there getting his hands around Jai and Yola's shoelaces, that might have been 6.
100 bits from Tom Rahman, and now they're just referencing you personally. Go get him, Andy. Everybody's picking you up tonight.
Well, that's because you just keep bringing me up, and everyone wants you to shout them out.
3rd and 5 at the 39. It's working. At the 39-yard line, 45 seconds to go in the third. Handoff to... And Yola didn't get there! Jack Brown, with his biggest hit of the night, forces a 4th down and 2 at the 36, and Tallahassee has a decision to make.
Jack Brown said, Red Rover, we called Jaye and Yola on over, and he clotheslined him 2 yards shy of the first down marker. And look at this, Tallahassee's going to have to punt. That was an unbelievable play by Jack Brown.
If Mexico City ends up winning, we may look back at that play and say that was
undoubtedly
a huge difference maker. What a punt down to the 7-yard line with 15 seconds to go.
That's real dangerous with the way that this offensive line has been playing for Mexico City.
Outstanding point. Matt Wilson going to have to be very, very careful. If I'm Mexico City, I'm handing the ball off 3 times, and I'm just getting out of here. Because I don't want to have anything to do with a sack in the end zone in a very, very close game where points have been a premium. Split backs at the 7 for the Aztecs in a tie game in the SFL semifinals. The handoff goes to Ray Bentley, and he got a 2-yard loss. Hunter Norwood with his 7th tackle of the night. We still got a whole quarter to play, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. We're back after a word from our sponsors, but this is a dramatic SFL semifinals. Put your 4s up in the chat and get SFL Nation in here. We're back after this. The Simulation Football League is brought to you by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House for all your live streaming needs. It's 2nd down and 12 from the 5 for Mexico City. They'll hand it off to Bentley, and Bentley is picked up and dropped down. Another loss. 3rd and 13 at the 4. What do you do here, Andy? I think you just hand it off again. I don't want anything to do with a safety.
Well, if you got a QB sneak in your playbook, now's the time to use it. Hey, victory formation, take a knee, Cam, and then just punt it away. Dropping back might be dangerous, and handing the ball off might be dangerous.
And off Bentley. Bentley almost dropped for another loss, but able to pick up. They still haven't marked it to the 5, a 4th and 12. So Mexico City gets out of Dodge, but Andy, in the first half, they spent almost the entire half on the other side of the 50. They have not crossed the 50 here in the second half.
Yeah, and dangerous scenes as Tallahassee was able to drive on their last drive and pick up 3 with a pretty well put together game plan. So if you're Mexico City, you're not liking the way the field position game is turning against you.
And now Sprouse inside field goal range already there, just on the fringe up to the Aztec 32-yard line. Mexico City has already forced 4 turnovers in the game, and they still don't have a lead. And shout out to Admiral Thrawn with 1,200 bits in the chat tonight, gearing up for season 12.
Yeah, get those biddies in. Make sure you are prepared for whatever team is interested, whether it be drafting you or trying to sign you to your team, or if you're re-signing to your team, got to get those bits in.
1st and 10 of the 32. Jaye and Yola, plenty of yardage. King Wallace on the tackle, 8-yard gain, but 50 for Jaye, and also shout out to Mix too with the 400 bits at the end of the break.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of a change in ideology between these two run games. Tallahassee's running right at Jack Brown, whereas Mexico City has had more success running away from the defensive linemen. So an interesting, swap here between these teams. And
Yola, 1st down on the 19-yard line. He's not breaking out big runs, but he's got the pride in the red zone. Tallahassee in the driver's seat with 9:23 to go. Christensen hasn't thrown a pass in quite some time. 12 of 26 for 100 yards, but Yola now racking up the carries, 22 for 155. They were keeping him loose in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, it's almost like you're chopping down a tree, Cam. You can't do it all at once. You're going to have to take a couple swings at it, and that's what Enyola's doing, is just making that hole at the base of the tree a little bit bigger, and eventually that thing will fall over and they'll get in the end zone.
Enyola, 6-yard gain. They are wearing down this Aztec front, down to 8:52 to go in the 4th quarter. Mexico City was down 7 early, took a 10-7 lead. They have not trailed since. But Tallahassee trying to reclaim that lead they had on the 2nd play of the game. They've not scored a touchdown since the 1st minute of this contest. 3 receivers off the left side. They're going to hand it off to Enyola again. And Enyola is dragged backwards. Wow, I was kind of shocked at what I was watching there, as Enyola got hit by 2 defenders and then carried back to the 15.
Yeah, I expected him to break through it and be able to get upfield. Mexico City did a good job of pursuit there, and now 3rd and 6. What do you do if you're Tallahassee? Do you run the ball and maybe just settle for the field goal, or do you try and throw it and possibly force something?
On the pride, I'm going for 6. I don't want Cole Varner any part of this game. Back to pass, Christensen going for the sticks, got it! Broken tackle, 1st down, Ken Gossett. What a play! Only his 3rd catch, but he comes up huge to pick up a 1st and goal.
Very well might be the play of the game right there, Cam. The difference in not only field position and possible points on the board, but also the difference between a lot of time on the clock if they would have had to kick that field goal there. Tallahassee's got to love that.
Christensen, look at the pocket. All day to throw. Oh, it's almost picked, and then almost a touchdown. Tackled by Franagawa at the 1-yard line, saving a score. That was Wood with the reception.
Yeah, that play had pick 6 written all over it. And if you're Mexico City, you clenched up a little bit there, because that looked like it might have been the game-saving play. And now here we go. It's big boys versus big boys, Cam.
It's the first catch I've seen Wood make all year. 2nd and goal at the 1. Mexico City goal line defense. Handoff Enyola. Jaye Enyola did not get it. 3rd and goal from the 2 as the Aztecs trying to get a goal line stand.
Yeah, he actually lost a yard for Enyola. That's not a good sign, especially when you're down here and you'd like to rely on the big man to just roll his way in. You would have liked to see him at least, get back to the line of scrimmage, and that might change what you decide to do here on 3rd and goal.
Here we go. They're going to run it. Enyola stopped!
Oh.
Loss of 2 as Mexico City blows it up at the front of the line. That tackle by Juan Bosco.
Oh, and that's heartbreaking if you're a Tallahassee Pride fan, and it kind of has sucked this energy out of the stadium. Everyone was excited to see them get in the end zone again, and Enyola just gets shut down. Great game planning from Mexico City in the goal line formation to be able to get to Enyola, wrap him up, and then hold on for dear life.
This is a 21-yard chip shot for Douglas. Good. Tallahassee's first lead since the 1st quarter. We have got a ball game. 6:03 left in the SFL semifinals. Woo, catch your breath.
I never had it to start with.
Oh, man, I got to do another one of these?
Hey, don't tempt me, Cam. I'll offer to take over, and the fans don't want that.
Steven's going, man, you've already done enough. From the 10-yard line on the return, Jeffrey Daggs, 25. Daggs not hit until the 30, and that's where he's cut down. It's up to Matt Wilson and the Aztecs, who are all too familiar with close games and close encounters in the playoffs. Mexico City trying to send Tallahassee to a 4th home playoff loss. Meanwhile, the Pride trying to make it to back-to-back championship games for the first time since the Oklahoma City Renegades did it, Andy, in 2013.
Jeez.
When they made season 1 and 2. It's unbelievable. 2 in the backfield, handoff to Bentley. Bentley hurdled and then got just hit on the side big time.
He was just a little speed away from getting away from that tackle, and if he would have had 8 or 9 at least. But with 6 minutes to go, I like Mexico City's game plan. Don't abandon the run just yet. You're not out of this one, even if you can't. You know, if your drive stalls out here and you punt, you have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning in your back pocket. There's time. You're only down by 3. You can't turn the ball over, though, in bad field position.
Bentley can't get away. Thought he was going to break through, but instead the linebackers are starting to win the battle. An underrated group as Danny Atkins makes the play. Critical 3rd and 8 right here.
Yeah, this is, you know, it's not the end of the game, but if Mexico City can't pick it up, they're going to have to get a defensive stop.
5 minutes left, 3rd down and 8. Wilson straight back. What a gutsy call, and the pass is knocked away by Matthew Sprouse, and Mexico City will have to punt.
And I don't know, it was close to maybe some interference there. They were pretty much neck and neck. And at the last minute, Sprouse jumped forward and tried to hit the ball. The chat, you know, Matt Wilson wants a pass interference there. I think he has a case. Do they throw it? No, they held the flag in their back pocket. But like I said, still plenty of time, 4:58, 3 timeouts. You just got to come up with a stop here.
Oh, man, the pressure is on the defense to get Jaye and Yola on the ground because you know there's going to be a heavy dose of him, and Sprouse gets it up to the 34-yard line, 4:50 to go. Tallahassee has been wearing down the Aztecs here in the second half. Mexico City just 10 first downs. They're 2 of 7 on 3rd down. And Wilson is 9 of 14 for 71 yards passing. They just have not been able to get anything going.
Yeah, and it's really been that defensive front for Tallahassee that's made all of the difference. So here, now Mexico City needs a stop. You got to be able to stop Anyola at least 3 times. Let's see what they can do. Anyola
got away from the first wave and picks up 5 yards, up to 161. Jeffrey Daggs on the tackle, and with every first down, that clock will continue to move. 27th carry for Anyola.
Yeah, they are feeding him. And to this point, Cam, Mexico City has done a pretty solid job of slowing him down. Have they stopped him? No. But when you take away that big run from the first or second play of the game, the first drive, they have done a pretty solid job against him, especially up on that goal line stand.
2nd and 5 of the 38. Got to force Tallahassee into a difficult situation. Yola got the first down, still moving before Daggs pummels him at the 47-yard line, but another minute and a half will tick off the clock.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point where the clock is your enemy. It's not going to be the players on the field anymore, because with that first down, we're going to tick under 4 minutes to go. If they can even add a field goal, it's going to make your comeback a lot harder than if you just need 3 to tie it up, because if you need 6 or 7 in order to tie or win, you're going to have to ask Matt Wilson to throw a lot.
And it could flip field position, too, in a negative way for the Aztecs, which didn't work out the last time they started a drive inside the 10. Tallahassee ticking the play clock down to 10, handoff Anyola, and Anyola picks up only 2. Now the question becomes, does Anyola have enough gas left in the tank to pick up another first down without Christensen going to the air?
Yeah, I don't know if he has enough fuel, Cam. It might be something... Might be something where they'll have to kind of wager, and we saw Wood take a play earlier in the game and give Anyola a breather. If they were going to do that, you'd like to see him do it here on 2nd down in order to make that 3rd down play the biggest, but we'll have to see whether Anyola has enough.
2nd and 8, 3:05 to go, fourth quarter. Handoff Yola, running left. Jaye Yola's got room, and Yola did not get there. King Wallace, Pablo Zamora double that one up. 3rd down and 2. The difference between game clock and play clock, about 20 seconds. So you figure with about 2:23 left, Tallahassee will snap it, and this is everything.
Yeah, this is the play here if you're Mexico City. And they have too many people back off the line. If this is anything up the middle, it's a first.
2.5 to go. Tallahassee trying to, they snap it early, and Yola got it! First down to the 42-yard line. That means the Aztecs will have to start burning timeouts after the 2-minute warning, and their chances of returning to the season 11, or to the SFL championship game rather, are in jeopardy.
Yeah, when it was simply, you had the wrong formation against the right formation for Tallahassee. They had too many guys in the box for the Pride and not enough for Mexico City. Really unfortunate.
They snapped it before the 2-minute warning, and they just saved Mexico City a timeout. 2-minute warning. Our last logo tease of the evening is coming up right now. A rating of 20. 20.
Wow.
And the Pride are about to win.
Hey, don't speak too soon. There's still time and timeouts.
2nd and 6. Yola. One more first down ends it. Aztecs burn a timeout. They now have 2. The ball rests on the 36.
Here's what I'm doing. If I'm Mexico City, throw everyone on the line, put your goal line formation in, let the corners play man on those 2 or 3 receivers, and just go after it. Put everyone in the backfield, see if you cannot stop him. And unfortunately, that's not what they're doing here. If you look, that's a bad formation for the Aztecs.
3rd and 3. 1:53 left. Handoff Yola, and he didn't get it!
Oh! Unbelievable!
Wow! Do you go for it? I would go for it.
From the 32, it would be, a 48-yard field goal? I think you go for it.
I mean, look at Yola. He's getting 3 yards on it. Yeah, they're going to go for it. He's getting
or at least
3
keep
yards
the
every
offense
pop.
out. Wow, this is a lot of pressure here, Cam.
But a field goal could put him up 6, which changes the game. Here we go. They're going to snap it. Yola. First down. Tallahassee's going to the championship. What a gutsy call.
Yeah, and the right call if you're the Tallahassee Pride. You keep the offense out. There's a lot of pressure there, but with the looks that Mexico City was giving you, those 3 yards were guaranteed if those 2 formations came up against each other, because the Aztecs just didn't have enough people in the box, and now it'll be all knees from here on out.
Oh, man, what a game. How many straight runs did they give it to Yola? That's like 8 or 9, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and
something like that.
He just willed him to victory. 35 carries, 191 yards. He was sitting around 17 carries there late in the 3rd quarter, and they worked him all second half long. 18 first downs to just Mexico City's 10, and Tallahassee, who was 2 of 4 on 3rd downs, converted 4 of their last 7. And they got it done. And the Tallahassee Pride, the first team since the Season 2 Oklahoma City Renegades, will return to the postseason in back-to-back years, going after their first SFL championship. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be a rematch with the undefeated defending champs, or is Tallahassee for the 2nd consecutive season going to host a championship game, and it be the Houston Hyenas in a rematch of the epic Season 6 overtime playoff game that Houston won in walk-off fashion? That was in this building too. The final kneel down for Tallahassee. Either way, half of the championship deck is set, and Stephen Mullinex will be alongside me after a brief break to gather our thoughts and set up for the next game. And Tallahassee, this was probably the grittiest win I've seen this team get, And they showed and proved tonight that Wyanyola might be the MVP.
Yeah, and I think you could argue that either team really here deserved the win. It just came down to who, kind of possessed the ball on that last drive. And for the Pride defense to get Mexico City off the field the last time they had the ball really made the difference. So hats off to both teams for quite the contest. For the Aztecs being in a rebuilding year, what a campaign for them. And for Tallahassee, welcome back. Now you got to go finish the job.
Here's a look at your final numbers, and look at that. Didn't Mexico City have 170? How many yards they have at the half?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
It's got to be almost identical. It was 170 something, and that is an amazing effort by Tallahassee's defense. Does anybody remember in the chat how many yards they had at the half? That is some unbelievable Pride defense in the second half. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so many plays that could have changed the course of this game. That overturned catch on the sideline by Montague, I think, was one of the biggest, Cam, that kind of pops into my memory because he looked well in bounds. And that would have sparked, something for Mexico City. That drive ended up stalling out. A couple times they were backed up. If they could have got a little bit something more going there. Really what it came down here was two tough defenses and a very gritty game plan from both coordinators.
There's Jaye Anyola, ends up only averaging 5.5 yards a carry, which is lower than his average, but a sensational effort by the big man, the MVP candidate, and now after tonight, he may be the likely MVP. What an incredible performance, and what a ball game. It felt like the playoffs, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
13-10, Tallahassee back in the title game. And one person in the chat saying that they had 178 at the half. We're going to have to look back at the tape. Either way, being held to less than 100 yards in the second half, no joke. Tallahassee's defensive front and Jaye Anyola, hey, Andy, that's all you can ask for, right? Where you put your money gets you the win.
Yep, that's the only way to do it, is make sure the people you're paying get the job done. Big players show up in big-time games, and the defensive line for Tallahassee did here. The question will be, when they face up in the championship game, what tape here from Mexico City shows whoever they play how to get it done. There's a lot of game left to be played here in the SFL, Cam, and it starts right after this.
We'll be kicking off sometime between 8:15 and 8:30. We'll try to get you out to Alaska as soon as possible, so keep it right here on the SFL network. For our fantastic stat man, Mark Lopez, and we do have just a second to break down some final numbers. Christensen, 14 of 28, 114 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks, didn't matter. Anyola, 191 yards on the ground, made it happen. 18 first downs for Tallahassee, 12 coming off of either first or second down. Matt Wilson, 9 of 14, 71 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. 22 carries, 106 yards for Ray Bentley, but he was rendered ineffective in the second half. No Aztec receiver had more than 2 receptions in this ball game. Daggs led the way, 2 catches, 26 yards on 2 targets. Willis finishes with 52 yards on 7 receptions. And Hunter Norwood with 5.5 sacks leads the defense to an 11 sack performance. Your final thoughts, Andy?
Well, it was a well-fought battle by both teams. Tallahassee making their way back to the championship is big for their franchise, so congratulations to them. And Mexico City can hold their head high, knowing that they pretty much took it down to the wire, Cam. They were pretty much, inches away from getting the ball back and an opportunity to drive down the field and win it. So quite the game for both of these teams, and I'm interested to see how they both come out firing for the Aztecs next season and for Tallahassee in the championship game next week.
For Mark Lopez, Andy Hamilton, I'm Cameron Irvine. Good night from Tallahassee, and we're right back on the air from the Eye after this.